Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. Elul edition. Continuing on in the maamer of Ledodi of Tashin Chavav, the Rebbe, analyzing the Alter Rebbe's maamer and really trying to bring out all the amazing points that there is. Up to in the middle of Eis Vav. Today we'll finish Eis Vav. Daled. Basically, what we're talking about is there's an axiom that Elul is about Ledodi, is meaning that it's this it's there other from below, it's our efforts, and Tishrei Shem Kippur Tshuva is Ledodi Li, is the Hamshach L'Mayla. It's what's coming from above, and that's the axiom. Elul is Ledodi and Tishrei Ledodi Li. Now you said, but 1 second, we say this Ledodi Li and Elul. Because the whole Rosh Hashanah of Elul is on the Ledodi Li. That Ledodi Li is, we said, it's Yudigim L'Israchim. It's the third natural mercy, but it's just an Sinas Koyach. It's there, so to speak. You could say, sort of, it's reminding you that it's Elul, and you have to come. You have to put in all the effort. It's just there's an added ability. It's like someone telling you, you can do it. I believe in you, and you can do it. So that pushes you to go do it. You still have to do all the effort. It's just in Sinas Koyach. And that's what we're discussing at the moment. So then we started Eis Daled. Now we're starting to analyze the maamer a little bit. The marshal. That's the marshal that Alter Rebbe gives, is to understand that point. That Elul, like we said, Elul is it's all coming from below, it's all our efforts. And Tishrei is not all, but it's coming from Milamayla. And so therefore, the aspect of the Ledodi Li in Elul is Yudigim L'Israchim. Now, but in the marshal that the Alter Rebbe brings, he brings the marshal of the Melech Masada, the king's in the field. When he comes to the field, everyone comes to greet him. And he greets everyone with a countenance, with happy countenance, and shows him a smiling countenance, which seemingly that's saying that the king is inspiring them, which is this aspect of Ledodi Li, but in Elul, which shouldn't be. So what's going on over here? And that's what the Rebbe is asking. What does this all mean? The Rebbe explains this is explaining beautiful part. And today we have a beautiful part. In short, he's saying the focus is not on what he does, but on who he does it to. And really, in Kabbalah is kulam. What does it mean? Kulam receives all of them. It means even a person that's not in the field, even a person in the desert in the Nimshal is Klippa. Desert is a barren place, not livable, which is in spiritual terms, a place that doesn't have the ability for Kedusha. What happens if a Yid is there? He receives them all, that even a person is in such a low state, they're totally disconnected. Even Hashem greets them with a smiling countenance. And that smiling countenance helps the person have the ability to come out. And that's what we're going to explain today. Beautiful idea. So we'll go back a little bit just to get the running start. So we say, to understand, why does it say Panim Tzechakos? Why he shows us this Panim Yafim, Marlem, Sefer Panim Yafos, Panim Tzechakos. They shows smiling, happy countenance. What's going on over here? That seemingly should be in Tishrei. So he says, if no one understands, we'll have to understand 2 points of what's happening in Elul. There's 2 ideas in the novelty of the third natural of mercy in Elul versus Rosh Hashanah Kippur. One is in order to receive the revelation of Tishrei of Rosh Hashanah Kippur, it's through a higher level of Veda, like we say in the Mashal Muvcharim, like in the parable, the special, unique people. Not everyone can do it, just special people. And not to receive it, whereas the Elul, but in Elul, you don't have to be a Muvchan Shabam. You don't have no special requirements to greet the king. He receives all of them. No, you just have to go and greet the king. king is there and available. He's making himself available. He's in the field, and you have to go greet him. And in the nimshul, it means Kabbalah so. That in Elul, the only thing you need to do is have Kabbalah so, whereas on Tishrei, the Kabbalah so is not enough. To get the truest level of inspiration you can on Tishrei, you have to do all this Avodah. You have to be on a whole level after a whole month of Avodah of Elul. So we want to discuss Kabbalah so. I'm going to put this to the side for now. We'll continue going further and we'll discuss it more. And the second point of Elul, that another idea is that in Elul, it's even coming to the person, to the desert. The desert, which implies the opposite of holiness, klippa, things that aren't, that kedusha, that holiness can be. Like it's understood, because the main point of the Yud Gemilas Rachmim of Elul is giving us the ability to tshuva. That's the main point of it. The tshuva, kapshuta, what's tshuva? Now there's different levels of tshuva, but tshuva in the simplest of sense, is here al inyanim b'tzritzim, on things that we did that weren't good and weren't right. That's the tshuva, which is the level of Bechinas Midbar, which is the desert. Bekat tshuva, who aprikas el, and the main source of the tshuva, the main source of the problem is the prikas el, which is the opposite of Kabbalah el. Prikas el is removing, casting off the yoke. Kabbalah el is putting on the yoke, and prikas el is taking it off. That's ultimately meaning the source of the Avera is not this specific issue. It's not like you stop caring, or you know, God doesn't become important enough in your life, and you just, whatever, I'll do what I want. So from this we're saying that the revelation of Elul, the king in the field, what we're saying is the king in the field is coming and reaching to the point of the person that has Birkas El. Person that said to themselves, I don't want to do this anymore. And Elul is coming inspiring them. As my friend said, I don't think he understood what he was saying. But like he said to me just before Elul, it was Thursday, Friday, before First Chodesh Elul. He said that in Elul, it inspires people. He goes, he's seen certain people come from in Elul. And that's what we're saying. He said, people is not even from, like totally, but Elul had such an impact on them. So he said there's something to this. And this is what we're saying here. That's what Elul is happening. The Elul is coming and inspiring. It's coming to reaching the person that's even in the desert. So this that it says in the maamer. But 1 second, we're saying a nice part that Elul is reaching people in the desert. The maamer doesn't talk about the desert, talking about the people in the field. The maamer does talk about the desert, but in the marshal, it's not talking about the desert, it's talking about the field. So he's saying, we're talking about the field here. Because the explanation is like this: because who the revelation of the Nash's mercy is not in the desert. Because why? Because the Abinyanim Shem Hefik Mertan Hashem Ein Shayach Shiyeh Behem Gilul Elikus. Because the desert represents Klippa. You can't say that it's going to be Elikus. Godliness is in Klippa. In a simple sense, of course, in deeper levels, everything is Kedusha and godliness, everything. But we're saying Kedusha and holiness versus the opposite of Kedusha, unholiness. So the desert is unholy. So the Kedusha doesn't go into the desert. So how are we saying that the Kedusha goes into the desert? So we're saying it's talking about Ella Bisro. I think it's talking about Bamidbar. It's the Yid in the desert. It's not that it's coming to the desert, it's coming to the Yid that's in the desert. There's a Yid that is totally given over to his Yetzer Hara and he's not listening to the Nefesh Elikus, and he doesn't know for whatever reason. It could be he doesn't know any better, it could be doesn't care. And a person on that level doesn't care. Hashem comes and reveals himself to that person. And what happens when the person gets there, it gets that revelation in that desert. And when a person in that desert, that gives them the ability to go out from the desert and come into the field. Beautiful words. That's another whole forbearing we have to have. So we have two forbearings now. We have Kabbalah so and receiving someone and being and Hashem coming reveal himself to us in the desert or to a person that's in the desert. So according to this, Yesh Leimar, finish the oath first, then we'll bring about it. Yesh Leimar, the Mash, it says in the maamer. The king receives everyone all pleasantly. The stress is hakavana b'zeh madgish. It's stressing as kulam. He's saying that he receives all of them, meaning he shegam me'ela shehei merak reitzim lakos espnei melech. Even a person who wants to, they want to receive the king, but el shem shavurim b'yitzram, but the Yetzer Hara is too strong and they're not able to do it. Meaning Elul comes, we say, I want to be connected, I want to do more, but nothing comes of it. It's not it doesn't produce anything. Why? Because we're so given over to Yetzer Hara, and we're in the desert, so to speak. So it doesn't want. So it's very hard. Hashem comes and greets them. And even then, when a person comes and they want to do tshuva and they want to have kabbalah, they want to say, I want to do the right thing. I want to change. I want my life to be different. I want to be more connected. I want to have a proper Elul, proper Tishrei. But it doesn't actually happen. Even them, Hashem receives them with a happy, smiling countenance. But you say to yourself, but they didn't do anything. It doesn't work. They want to, but practically doesn't work. It's like, a husband says to his wife, I wanted to do the dishes, but I didn't manage to do it. I wanted to clean the house, but I didn't do it. I wanted to buy you a present, but I didn't manage to buy you a present. So by a normal person, it's like, I don't care what you wanted. It doesn't help if you didn't do it. But Hashem says, he receives them happily with a smiling countenance. And this arouses within them. When we realize this, when we meditate on this, we contemplate, we understand what this means. What does that do? It gives us the strength to go over, to overcome the Yetzer Hara of ours and to push through. Now, through this ratzin, we overcome all these obstacles in the way. Beautiful, beautiful idea. And they're ever saying like this. So we'll summarize this point and then we'll talk about the other few matters we left unresolved. Basically, what he's saying is like this: that the purpose of the marshal Makabel is called Misei Fanu Yafa is that he sees them all with a smiling countenance. We were questioning. We say that it's really an inspiration from above, which is meant to be on Tishrei. Like we said, that's Tishrei. Elul is all from below. So what he's saying is he's saying it's not that he's greeting all smiling countenance and it's inspiring them. It's when a person is such a low level that they're totally that they have no control over their lives. In simple terms, either they don't realize how not control over the life, meaning to be in control of our life, and this is sort of connected with Kabbalah, is realizing that Hashem's in charge and I'm connected to Hashem and I have to do what Hashem wants. And this is part of my life. This is why I was here. I have to work. And it says, I was created, my master, but the Chassidish teaches, my whole purpose of creation was to serve Hashem. And this is called a head-on straight. This is how it's meant to be. So a person doesn't understand this, where they weren't taught, whatever it is, and they're totally distant from it. And then comes Elul, and they understand that Elul are meant to come and connect. But they don't have the tools, they haven't been taught, they don't have the self-control or whatever it is. It's like, I remember when I was a Bach, I used to go to Feringen, 2 a.m, I'm a little bit drunk, and I say, I want to do everything I'm meant to do. I want to be the right person. I want to do all the right things. And the next day I wake up at 2 p.m, I davened late, and then I missed the whole day of learning, and I'm like, whatever. Back to usual programming. But that's not that. But that's wrong, and that was a wrong attitude. And I didn't learn this. And maybe I did learn it. I didn't understand it. But what he's saying is, it's that's not how it works. And Elul comes, and it's hard. And you sit there, and you don't know how to have those skills. But you have to remind yourself, and you have to understand. And this is why we were given by Shach Bar the ability to learn this maamer. And the maamer is telling us that you can be in that desert. You can be there doing the same mistakes over and over again and not being able to come out of them. But you have to realize that the king is there and he greets you smiling. And you're like, what do you mean? But I'm not doing anything right. I'm not doing the dishes. I'm not buying the presents. I want to, but I'm just totally out of control. I don't have control, self-control of my life, and it's not working. So the king, and this is maybe a good lesson for us in our relationships, understand that we have Yetzer Hara. So the king, he's smiling. He's like, you're good. You're in the desert. Don't worry about it. I like you. You're good. I know you mean well. I appreciate it. And you just come, and I'll greet you. I'll be there for you. And when he does that, that's like, wow, really? Really? Even after all this, he's still, and that's like, wow. And that gives us the ability to go over and to overcome that prick and have Kabbalah. Now, And that's sort of the Vart he's saying here. The beautiful, beautiful. And this is what the Rebbe is saying, that the Alter Rebbe is saying. If you read it in the words, if you analyze the words, all these little words like Mekabos Kulam, what's the point? What he's trying to stress is that even a person that isn't sort of in the field is Klippa, is Klippas Nega. It's you're doing not bad, you're doing good. You could be, it's really a Beinoni, meaning you're doing the right things. You have the Yitzhahara and you have the struggles, but you make the right decisions. At least most of the time. But the desert is you're totally gone. You don't have any self-control of your life. You're saying even that person, we can still come back. And so, to show for ourselves, we have to say, I'm sure not a person totally in the desert. Maybe sometimes I'm in the desert. But Hashem is Mekalbus Kol, Hashem receives us all. We have to think about this and meditate on this. Wow, really? And Hashem is happy to greet me in Elul. Even what an opportunity. Let me go and grab this opportunity to make the most of it. Just to go and discuss what does it mean, Kabbalah Sel. Kabbalah Sel, yoke of heaven, is an important point that I think some people misinterpret what it means. Kabbalah Sel, in short, it means I understand that there's a God. I understand there's Hashem, and Hashem is in charge, and I appreciate that, and I understand that, and therefore I have to do what Hashem wants. Kabbalah Sel comes from a relationship. It means I understand there's God, and I want to be connected with Hashem. I'm going to do what Hashem wants. Now I'm not in the mood. No one asks you if you're in the mood. You have Kabbalah Sel. Kabbalah Sel is Hashem in charge. I take the yoke. It's like an animal has the ability to do so much, but it needs that yoke. So to us, we have the ability to do so much. We can connect to Hashem. We can become Beinoni. If not, at certain points, whoever says the maamer, at certain point you can never be a tzaddik. But the point is, it's not going to happen if we don't have self-control. We don't have the yoke. We don't put Hashem in charge. And the yoke is saying, I understand Hashem is in charge, and I'm going to do whatever I need to do to express that. And I have that yoke on, and I do whatever He wants. So what I'm meant to be doing now? I'm tired. But I need to say Shema. I'm going to go say Shema. I need to do this. I need to daven first, and that's the Kabbalah Sel. And it's a lifelong avodah. It's not a one-day thing, but it's the process of realizing that Kabbalah Sel is not. When I was a bacher, this is my understanding of Kabbalah Sel was like you don't like to do it, but you do it anyway. Kabbalah Sel is not like you hate the relationship with God, but you do it anyway. Kabbalah Sel is you appreciate the relationship with God, and therefore you do whatever it takes. And even if your Yitzhahara is telling you, no, I don't want to do it. Listen, Hashem in charge. And that's in contrast to Pirkei Asel, what we said, which is the opposite, which is like, I don't care about the relationship. I'll do what I want. It's annoying God on my head. That's Pirkei Asel. Kabbalah Sel is the opposite. I appreciate God, and therefore I do whatever I need to do. To be continued tomorrow. I'm going to have an amazing day, and thank you for joining.